American Dad Season 7 Episode 2 Hurricane portrays Stan Smith as a stubborn, prideful idiot who's incapable of helping in a crisis. This is a very strange characterization, as Stan usually is the hero of the show, regularly saving the family, defeating the bad guys, and ultimately doing things in a very efficient and effective manner. Which is why it's so interesting that this episode in particular portrays him as such a fool. In the beginning of the show, Stan is a strong and capable hero. Season 1 Episode 5 is a perfect example of this. In this episode, the family mistakes Roger for dead. The entire family starts freaking out. Meanwhile, Stan understands the severity of the situation and quickly and effectively disposes of the body to make sure the CIA can never link it back to the family.
Can I get some ketchup?
Later on, when he realizes that Roger is alive and that the CIA is looking for him, Stan gets to work tracking down Roger quicker and more effectively than the CIA or his family, and eventually is forced to either kill Roger or surrender and have his family tortured. Luckily, he quickly comes up with a solution to save both Roger's life and his family by giving the CIA a decoy alien while the real Roger comes home with the Smiths safely.
Look how it mimics our language.
But in Hurricane, he is portrayed as useless in a crisis. When the family finds out about a hurricane, Stan suggests that they stay, while Francine says that they should evacuate. She makes an argument that Stan is never really good in a crisis and often doesn't know what to do, which is strange because that has never been a character trait of Stan previously. And throughout the episode, Stan continues to make bad decisions that end up making things worse. He waterproofs the house, resulting in water not being able to pass under it and pulling the house off the foundation. He tries to drop an anchor in an attempt to stop the house from floating away, which causes them to flip over. And eventually a shark gets into the house. Stan brings in a bear to kill the shark. This doesn't make any sense to me because, for one, Stan is not incompetent enough to do that usually. But two, Stan has his gun on him. He could just as easily shoot the shark and kill it instantly. But instead he tries to harpoon the bear with his old college javelin, misses, and hits Francine. Given that he is trained in the CIA and is a former javelin thrower, it does not make any sense for him to miss so badly. On top of that, it doesn't make any sense for them to be in that situation in the first place because, again, he shouldn't have been incompetent enough to do it in the first place. The entire episode portrays him as out of characterly incompetent despite his history of dependable skills and his CIA training that the show constantly gives us examples of. This is an incredibly lazy kind of characterization, often done in TV shows, especially as they get later into their run, where rather than framing a story to fit the characters, they change the characters to fit a story. Family Guy fell into a very similar trap where originally each character had their very own unique personalities and behavior, but now nearly any line is interchangeable. Something that Stewie says could just as easily be said by Brian or Peter. Something that Lois says could just as easily be said by Stewie, Meg, or even Peter. None of the characters have uniqueness. None of the characters have personality. American Dad hasn't gotten that far yet, but it does seem to be starting in that direction. Now, Stan has certainly developed over the course of the show, and he's become a more well-rounded character overall, but his competency and skill in crisis has never been up for debate, except for a few examples like this one. For the most part, he's portrayed as a very skilled, intelligent agent who tends to outperform his colleagues, not be left behind by them.
This is for treating me like an errand boy. This is for delaying my promotion. This is for disrespecting my daughter. And this is for not letting me stop at the creek for a drink.
But this somehow goes a lot worse than just being an out-of-character performance. It is the exact antithesis of his character. Stan as a whole is meant to be a very competent, skilled person who may be socially inept, but definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to crisis, fighting, combat, and problem solving in general. It's very lazy and a very strange way to characterize him in this episode that really just seeks to make a story where there isn't one. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe. Thank you again for watching, and have a nice day.
Looter!
Self-defense!
A black and a white talking as if it's normal.